Hello and welcome everyone, this is Dmitry. We are having another network programmability stream, but this time it's part of the marathon where I am streaming daily or almost daily during the holiday break for, I think 2 weeks. So today is day 2, day 1 was not yesterday, it was on Monday. I decided to skip 2 days due to holidays, and I know that a lot of my audience are celebrating Christmas, so I decided, it would be better to skip these days. So what we are going to do today, I think it's going to be very interesting. At least it's very interesting for me. We'll be discussing ZTP or zero-touch provisioning, and well, first, what we did last time, what we did on Monday, and what this whole project is about, right? So the idea of this project is to build a huge lab. My target is 1000 devices, and to test different network automation tools like Ansible, Python with Nornir, Golang, and some other things. Like to see how the performance on such a scale. And last time what we did, we managed to build initial design for the lab itself, because you have to understand your connections and your subnets and all of that stuff. And the point where we stopped last time was we finished with the design, I think, but there was an issue where we had to put correct configs on our devices, right? So imagine you have this, and right now you can see that I don't have 1000 devices yet. Hopefully it will change today. But the problem is that if I want to use any kind of network automation tool to manage that device, right, I need to be able to connect to that device in the first place via SSH or some other means. So what this really means is that I need to have this 1000 devices, let's say R1 through R1000, but I also need to know their IP addresses, and they need to have it configured as well, right? And doing it manually for, I think we did it manually last time for a couple of devices, 4, and I was already sweating, I hated that. Today, we will be trying to automate that process, okay, with zero-touch provisioning. So there were some ideas that we discussed. We'll discuss them today again, what are the approaches for ZTP are there, and what you can use in this particular lab, because there are some restrictions, and I will try implementing that. So before that, as usual, a couple of things I would like to discuss that is not directly part of the stream. And by the way, if you're watching this as a recording on YouTube, there should be a timecode in the description below, so you can switch to different sections of the video if you want to. So first, I received my new device, my Elgato Stream Deck Mini. So it's a small thing with 6 buttons, and every button has an LCD screen, and you can bind any actions to that, and it has integrations with different software like Streamlabs for streaming and some other stuff. So I'm testing it here today. So I have switches for the screen. I have recording and next track and some other stuff. So because I'm using only a single monitor, it's a little bit problematic for me to manage this as a stream. So hopefully this thing that I have right now will help me to do that. So far my impression have been only positive. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now another one, a couple of articles that I read during these days, something that I found interesting and I wanted to share with you. So first of all, this is something I read yesterday, was top 10 Python libraries of 2019. Let me bring it up. It's here. If you put it in Google, you should be able to find it. Top 10 libraries of 2019. And the reason I found this interesting is because I'm very interested in these 4 first projects or 4 first libraries. So HTTPX, it's something I have tried recently. It's an async web client in Python, and it will also have sync version very soon. We have been using it on Sunday during my Google Cloud Run stream. There is Starlet. We will also using it during that stream. This is async web framework, also written by the same guy, by the way. Fast API, something I have heard and I'm super interested. It's just I didn't have a project yet to use it. It's like very easy way to build asynchronous API backends with Python. Very interesting project. It builds on top of Starlet. And then this one is something that I have a use case, but I didn't find before. It's called immutables, and the idea there is that you can have frozen dictionaries. So you know that by default Python dictionaries are mutable, but depending on how you like to code, you may be used to immutable data types, and by default there are no immutable dics in Python, and that can become a problem, and sometimes you need immutable dictionary. So this is that, immutables. And I also have a lot of respect to this Magic Stack guys. They have awesome projects developed. So now the rest of it were not really that interesting to me. They were about data science or machine learning, and I am not really interested in any of those, so the rest was not really that interesting to me. But it was funny that in top 10 I have used first 2 in my recent project from a couple of days ago. I am looking forward to using this, and I had a use case for this one as well, so that's very interesting. Now another one, it's something that was shared by my friend Emil. He's owner of a Russian Telegram channel, DevNet, and he posts a lot of cool things about network automation. So if you're speaking Russian, please do check out his Telegram channel. So he shared this article, and apparently it was written long time ago, like a year ago, by Patrick, and I also know Patrick very well, Patrick Oggenstadt, or his blog is at Network Lower, and I looked through this tutorial, and it was amazing. It is amazing. I would rate it 10 out of 10 or even 11 out of 10. It is so detailed. It has a lot of examples. It touches on a lot of interesting things in the ZTP process. And there is samples for everything. So if you're curious how to do ZTP for your environments, I would definitely recommend this article to everyone. So he even touches on things like how to make it efficient with queues and some other things. So yeah, I was amazed. I haven't read it fully yet. I just skimmed through some of the sections that I found I had gaps. But yeah, so far it has been amazing. So I can definitely recommend this article. If you have any questions at any point in time, regardless, whatever, especially network automation, please do let me know in the chat, and I will do my best to address them. Also, well, And for now, we can actually start with our today's stream. So let me bring up, okay, first I want to make a change to this design which we came up last time. So for those of you who didn't see last stream, so this is a design of the lab where we have these 10 routers here. Sorry, 1000, yeah, 1000 devices, and then they are grouped in well, they are in groups of 100. So we have 10 groups here. They're connected to an unmanaged switch, which is connected to a single router. Then we have 10 routers which are connected to switch, and then they are going to the cloud and where they can connect to the Ubuntu control station. I want to make a couple of changes here. I was thinking about it during these days, and yeah, one problem with this is if I want to reach from this R1 here in like bag, on this machine I need static routes towards the subnets for every single edge, and it's kind of meh. So I don't really want to do that. So what I want to do instead is I want to add another device here. So, and we will rename this to core. So we have core 1. And it would be okay also to actually configure this core and edge devices manually. I see no problem with doing that because it's only 10. But the rest of it we will have to do ZTP for. So let me first change what I want to do here. So we'll have something like this. Okay, like this. And then okay, apparently my laptop still doesn't like my stream. It always stutters here. That's very sad. So yeah, this is what I want to do here. So what this will allow us to do, we'll configure routing here between edge and core. And then also, if I'm doing this, I no longer need these links between core routers. What it's doing? No. Okay. So we will have here 101. Yeah. And here's the subnet. I didn't figure out yet what IP addressing I want here. But we will configure routing here. So everything will point default route to the towards the edge, and then on Ubuntu we'll set some kind of route towards this one edge. So we have only one route to manage on Ubuntu manually. Yeah, something like this, I think. So I need to come up with some kind of network here on these guys. So let's say this will be 200.0/24, and then here we will say 110. This is going to be 2, yeah. And then here we'll say 100. Now another thing is that we will change this IP address here, and I will explain to you why in a second. So apparently I had this Ubuntu machine here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me change this back. So I decided I don't want to use that anymore because it has GUI and I don't need GUI. So let me do one thing. I will change an IP address here on this Ubuntu. Okay, let me check something. Test message. Okay, at least on my laptop I can see my chat. So this is already some good news. So yeah, I need to change networking here because I had that 100 IP address. Let's say this is going to be what, 50. Apply. And then what, I need to test it. So 192, 168, 1.3, 50. And apparently it doesn't work. Excuse me? Why are you not working? Oh, it still has. Okay, now this should work. Which it does, and I still need to be able to reach 100. Maybe. So apparently this doesn't work though. So I have this Ubuntu server here. Oh, it actually does. Linux, Linux. Yeah, okay. Okay, I have here 153, 100. Right. Give me 1 second here. I will bring up my SSH here as well. Right, we should be good. So I have here access to my oops. I have here access to my server. So it's running. God, how do you check it? I already forgot. Never mind, it's running 1910. I do need to upgrade packages though here. LSB release -A, yeah, thank you. I will also want to install Docker, even though I'm not 100% sure if you will be using Docker for this, but I have Docker on every one of my servers. Let's check the key. So it ends with cd88, yes. Okay. And then we will add the repo, and then we will update and install. What? Oh, of course they don't have 1910, I guess. I hate this random troubleshooting. Like, this should not be... Things like this should not happen. Especially with such an important software like Docker. It just shouldn't. Okay, let it install. I also like this comment somewhere put here. How about you guys communicate with each other? Oh, and I also will need, well, okay, we will leave it like this. Okay, so I have Docker. Do I need to be in the group, right? God, I keep forgetting it's user mode AG. Is it group first and then username second? Ugh. Oh, okay, group and then username. And then I will need to relog in. Okay, we can check this by, let's say, sync docker run it ram nginx latest. Yeah. I don't need IT though, but whatever. Use that get docker.com. Yeah, I mean, I tried, but you know, it's not what they have in docs, so. Okay, yeah, definitely having some issues with my laptop here. So I will just restart it right now. And let's see if that helps. Oh, and I think... Oh, it's actually running. Why am I looking at it? It was running just fine. Okay, we have Docker. Now I can breathe. Let's get back into the lab. So I need to make this change. So what we are going to do? You'll have to kill this link. Well, yeah. So this is going to be core 1. We will delete this link. And then we will add another router here. It's going to be Edge. And then we have to be careful with connection though. So E00 goes here to ETH0. And then here we connect to 01. Okay, like this, right? So then we will have 100 routers here. You have 10 core routers here, and then there is Edge. We'll be running EIGRP, for example, here. And then on my Ubuntu station here, I need a route toward the 7. Looks pretty straightforward to me now. Okay. Okay, guys, while my laptop is rebooting here, I may not see some of your chat messages, just letting you know. You know what I want to do? I want to start every one of these devices and actually test that, you know, I can do what I need to do. We'll do some like manual configuration right now. Okay, so this guy, yeah, on E00, it should have 192.168.153, 101. Then on ETH E01, we'll have IP address 10. Where is this? 10, 15, 200. 10, 15, 200, 100. No shot. Yeah, and then is this Edge? Does it have username? Yeah, it has username. It has labdmfigo.me. I don't think it has a key. Show IPSSH. It's disabled, yeah. Please create. Okay, let's do this. So crypto key generator, SA modules 2048. Yes, WR. Okay, so this should enable SSH. Now another thing is I want to enable EIGRP here. Yep. And then on core 1 I have to reconfigure it slightly. So here we'll have IP address 10, 15. Oh yeah, 10, 15, 201. Probably a loopback 0 will not hurt here as well. Let's say this one will have 10, 13 the address 10 13 11. Okay, and show router EIGRP. Show IP route. Show IP EIGRP neighbors. Yeah, so I have a neighbor on this downstream interface. Well, it's actually upstream, right? Because we have to look on it from different angle. It's upstream interface here. Now this E01, something is wrong there. Oh, it's completely empty. That's what it is. So we will want to have Internet ETH E01 no shot IP address 10.15.1.254. And then on router 1. Okay, apparently I didn't save any config here, like at all, right? So that's very weird. So for now I will do just static here. Yeah. 10. Hold on. Let's start just a little bit. And so 10.14.1.1. And then this is going to be 10.15.1.1. No shot. And then do show IPSSH disabled. Okay, I also need crypto key generator say, so we'll have EIGRP 100 network 10.0.0.0, and then what do we want here? We want this, yeah. Okay, show PSSH. Okay, cool. So R1 log GNFig with me. So now I think Edge, right? It should receive all of these loopbacks. Show IP route. Which it doesn't, right? It doesn't. I see a loopback from router 1, but I don't see the loopback from core, which is weird. Wow, I don't see a lot of things here. I don't see a network 10.15 10.15.1.0. It's just not there. But somehow I see the loopback from router 1. What is this? Okay, I have two neighbors. I have here 10.13.1.1/32, 10.15.1.0/24, 10.15.200/24, 10.14.1.1. This is our local, yeah. No, it's router 1 loopback. This is fine. And we have two neighbors. This is also fine. Well, this one doesn't make any sense to me at all. EIGRP topology. And this topology doesn't make sense to me at all. Okay, let me see the chat. Or just use LTS distros. Yes, that was actually a good idea. I was debating today because I set up this VM like very close to the stream starting, and I was thinking like, should I go with LTS or the latest? And like, screw it, I would just go with the latest. Apparently, that was a very pure decision. Well, poor, not pure, pure. It was very pure decision, like pure water. Okay, folks, I'm having an issue here, and unfortunately, because I have been mostly writing software for last 2 years, I barely remember anything from the networking. I mean, I remember some commands here and there. I mean, this config is super straightforward. Do you see it in an issue, or what should I do to troubleshoot this? I actually don't remember if this is when I cleared it manually or not. There is some link in the chat, let me see. To be fair, I am not really interested to use any one ZTP solution. I want to build my own today. ZTP server for various network devices. I mean, this is cool, but it has zero documentation here. So yeah, I appreciate the link, but even if it had documentation, I'm mostly interested in building my own for this stream, so that also other people can see like what kind of process you need to go if you want to build one of your own thing. Okay, there are some retransmissions going on here. Okay, but damn, my brain hurts because I remembered all of this. Like, I could, now there is some parts of it, but it's like all of this knowledge is just fading away from me. I remember like there is stuff about like Q count. If it's not 0, then you have some kind of issue, all of that stuff. Now, like, what is this? Okay, let's go step by step. So on core 1, yeah, I see a loopback from router 1, yeah. This is our local loopback. Yeah, and then in our topology table, it's also all is good here, yeah. We have 13.1, 14.1, this is our local one. This is our local one, this is from our neighbor. This is a link towards the core, towards the edge. And this one is the link towards router 1. So all of this seems fine to me. So EIGRP, again, neighbor, let's do detail. Q count is 0. There is one retransmission, but I'm not sure that's an issue here. What do I see on the router 1? Show up your route. So on here, on this guy, I am seeing 10.13.1.1. So I see the loopback from core 1. I see a link between core and edge, which is here, and show IP EIGRP topology. I don't think auto summary is enabled anymore by default. I mean, I can definitely do that, but you can see that there is no, I mean, those are, how it's called, VLSM, right, subnets, so there is no summary here going on. Automatic summarization disabled, yeah, this is default setting. But this topology doesn't make any sense to me. Zero. How come I don't see a loopback of core 1 here? So what do I see? I see this subnet and I see this loopback. Oh, there is no loopback. I mean, I don't think it's an issue, but I can definitely add one. Reboot maybe. Started writing ZTP thing for to replace our current one that is so-called hard to work with extend. It's also very tight coupled with our inventory system. Same up. Yeah, no, it's not complete though. Oh, okay. I do hope you'll get it up and running. That's very amazing. So keep working on it. Okay, chat, I really need your help. Because I can no longer say I'm a network engineer. It's very hard for me to troubleshoot this stuff. Let's finish adding this loopback here though, but I have to come up with a subnet. So I have 13. So I have 10, 14 for this one, yeah. I have 10, 13 for the cores. I can also add 10, 13 here as well. Let's say 100. 100. And let's do no router EIGRP 100, a router EIGRP 100, network 10.0.0.0. There is neighbor up. RP EIGRP neighbor. RP route. Now it's working. Excuse me? Excuse me? Whatever. Okay, the final, well, first of all, I should be able to ping 11 from our loopback, which I can, and then from, where is this? This one, yeah. So I should be, actually, no, I can't. I need the route, but I don't remember the command. Sudo IP route show Linux. Yeah, so, and then it was what, sudo IP route add, and then subnet, and then via, I think. I hate these different syntaxes everywhere. And then it's 1.3.1.1. Did I just get it right without docs? How cool is that? Okay, and I should be able to ping my router, yeah. GNS3 101, which I can, and this also means, oh no, there's one more thing. I need to inject static route here. So IP route 000, and then here I can actually put it here towards my neighbor 101, 100, and then if I go to EIGRP, I should be able to redistribute static, and I think metric 1010 10 255 1 100, and then here I should see a static route, yeah, which I do, and then now I should be able to ping the loopback, so 10 14 11, which I can. So now I have actually communication from my Ubuntu machine here, right, all the way to this router, and I think I should be able to SSH as well. So if I say Cisco at 10 14 11, yes, Cisco, I am on router 1, yeah. So this seems to be fine. And actually, folks, I rebooted my laptop and my stream on my laptop is not lagging anymore. So that's some good thing. Mac recently really disappoints me. Alright, so we are good to go here. Manual stuff is fine. Now the ZTP stuff. So here is where we stopped last time. Right? Like, I mean, I can add these devices manually to the GUI, even though it's going to be long, but it's kind of fine-ish. It's not that bad. But the config part, I mean, even that is manual work that I would prefer not to do. But then I may need to like, so yeah, okay. Let me try explaining that again. So I have this kind of like working prototype of my topology design, right? So I have these connections, and now I confirm that from the machine behind this cloud, I can reach these devices. I can reach one device. This is what I care about. Now we have to add 999 more devices. I can add them manually to the GUI and connect them. I don't think like it's that big of a deal, even though it's kind of like boring, but it's doable. But the config part, this is where it gets trickier, right? Like I would need to go to every one of those and set up a static IP address. Yeah, there. It will have a host name because GNS3 configures it from like templates, so that part is cool. But I would need static IP addresses. So like, and that part would be insane, like logging in and like putting IP address on every single one of those. Like I will go mad after 20 probably. You'll see me raging here on the stream. So probably we don't want that. So second, well, what options do we have? We have networking related option, which would set up ZTP with DHCP server. So we set up a DHCP server, let's say on this Linux machine. Where I have it, where is it? So I set up a DHCP server here, right? Where I will have static mappings between devices and their IP addresses. Now, one of the issues here would be how do we identify device, right? And I think this is something I could show to you. And let me start this second one. Like, how do we identify the router 1 or router 2 on the DHCP server? Because in like real world, there are ways. First, you may have a MAC address of management interface, so you can identify by MAC. Second option is verify using serial number. And this one is actually interesting because in the latest releases of ISC, like 16, I think 11 or 12 or something. So in one of the latest releases, in DHCP Discover, they sent its own serial number in some kind of option. So you can catch that option on the server and assign and do IP address assignment based on serial number, which is really cool. On those devices which have like Python on box as well, like ISC or some other devices, another option would be to use a Python script which will extract serial number locally and then will send it to your controller. So this way. Now in our case though, we do have an issue here. I don't know a MAC address because it's kind of like generated by GNS3 when I add an IOL device. So I don't know that. I don't know serial number because they don't even have serial number. So if I say show inventory, there is nothing. In show version, there is nothing as well. On the interface 00, there is a MAC address. So on this one is this, and on this one, this. So GNS3 does, like, I mean, they are kind of predictable. So you see there is 01, AABB, CC 00, 01, 00, and on this guy, it's 0300. It's predictable that it will always like add one more. However, the issue here is that beside these devices, right, like R1 to whatever, whenever I add a new one, maybe I screwed up something and it will actually, I will drag it here. So I add a new device, I will drag it here and it will become core, right? So then all of my like MAC address expectation for that is wrong. So I can't do that as well. Now, one option that I found interesting was the option 12. So if you say DHCP option 12, host name, and because GNS3, whenever you add it, whenever you add device, we set up a config template for that, which will assign like some kind of config at the boot up time. And there is an option in the config, and let me actually show this to you. So if I go here, start packet capture. Remind me later. Let's make this bigger. So let's say boot P or DHCP. And then I will go here on router 2 and I will say interface 00, IP address DHCP, and then there is host name, and you can put a host name, which is going to be R2. Now I can change my template config. Let me bring this up. Actually, I think it's here. Yeah. So I can add this. You can see there is this placeholder, %H. I can do it here. I can say IP address, IP address DHCP host name, and then %H, right? I can do that. So I will always have it here. Client ID will not work because it uses MAC address and we just discussed that, so I can't do that. So I can do this, yeah. Does it send DHCP immediate? No, it doesn't. So I'll have to shut this down and then do no shut. Vukimich, hello, how are you doing? So if I say no shut now, I should be able to see, yeah, discover. So it starts sending discover, and let's see in the options. So first there is client ID, which is from the MAC address. It's derived from the MAC address on the interface 00. Now this is not interesting, but there's also this host name, yeah, R2. So we can actually identify this device by this option 12. We could also use client ID if we had predictable MAC addresses. I'm Wookie, thank you so much. I'm also doing very well. Thank you. So yeah, client ID will not work here. Host name should be fine. Now the issue though is that we have to actually make it work. Actually, you know what? Let me do one thing. How can I add a column? DHCP option type. I don't think it will work this way. Apply as column. Oh wow, those are bytes. I think I need to do it like, yeah, like this. Okay. So I have this R2 directly in the, let me also add this as well. Yeah, now another thing I was thinking, what I was trying to test this, but I wasn't successful so far. So what I mean by testing, if I do the following, so if I hold on. Yeah, I can set up here. So if I say IP DHCP pool, then network, let me shut down this interface. If I say network 192.168.153, no, it's not this network, it's 10.15. It's 10.15. /24. Do I need to get? Yeah, I actually need default gateway here, which is 10.15. 254. So if I do no shot here, I will just get I will get 1.2, yeah. So I got this 1.1.2 here. Let me check, show, oh boy, server, show IP DHCP server, binding, yeah. Okay, so there is client ID. Is there some kind of detail thing? No, okay. Let me test this. How do I do column select? Okay. So if I say IP DHCP pool host whatever, we'll delete this test. Host 10, 15, 1, 10. And then client ID this. Oh, I need to be careful here. God damn it. Okay, I still remember some commands, so that's not that bad. Okay, so if I do this, yeah, and then I do no shut. No shut. I should be able to get that particular address, but we are not. Yeah, we got that particular IP address. Now if I do shut again, show IP DHCP binding. So I got this particular IP address. 10. Yep. But we don't want to have this client ID. We can say this no client ID. And then we'll say there is option client name, but I don't think it's working. Client name, the main should not be included. The main should not be included. So this was R2, yeah? Section. Is there some kind of debug? There should be some kind of debug for DHCP server. The packet in events and double check the config here. Okay, no shot. Yeah, so this something doesn't work here. Let's check this. Okay, DHCP discover received from a client, blah blah blah. Think if there is an internally specified pull class, h-type1 allocate binding. So it allocates like not that one, which is super weird. Interesting. What if I mean, I think it's a problem with this particular implementation of the server. I think, I mean, it's just the server doesn't select based on this option 12 for some reason. I mean, we would want to where is this? Yeah, it requests. Yeah, I think this particularly problem is built in the DHCP server. At least we know that in this, yeah, we see here R2, but then in the offer we see that, where is this? Where is offer? Yeah, we see 1.3 instead of 1.10, right? So I do believe that if we use like different DHCP server, we should be able to use that. Though I'm not 100% confident, so we'll have to try. Now, alternatively, if this does not work at all, then another option is I can go either use GNS3 API directly to like build config from the template for particular devices, and then like add them when I add device. Or if there is no API specifically for that, I could actually go to the server and find out all these files where they are. Because let me explain to you this thing as well. Where are its projects located? I already forgot. I think it's in OPT. GNS projects. Yeah, so there are projects. Today's 26. So if we go to this bay A, and there's project files, and then IOU. Okay, and then so all of these four, so these four are actually my IRL devices. Yeah, so if I go to here and then startup config, oops, so if I look in this file, startup config, I can see this config. So if nothing works, and again, the problem that we are having is that we don't know the MAC address of the devices that we add, while like in real world, usually you have your MAC address, you can extract it, right? You can usually it's on the box somewhere itself, so you don't even need to like go to the console and stuff. With serial number, it's even easier. We don't have serial numbers for IL at all, so we can use that. So yeah, if nothing works related to DHCP here, we'll just go find these files and we'll just modify them in place to have like a static config. I can also find this path. So I think the only thing I really need is this project ID. So if you go to LSLA GNS3 projects, this ID. No. Okay. And then there was untitled. Yeah. So if I look at this GNS3 file, this topology in JSON. You know what, folks? Let me do something here. Let's do connect to host. What's the IP address of this guy? 128. God damn it. Excuse me. Oh, okay, yeah. It was lowercase GNS3. You could try Docker image to spin up basic DHCP. I'm a little late, so I'm missing something. Just don't mind me. See, the problem, I mean, I could check what this GNS3 DHCP is. DNS mask. So getting GCP server is not an issue though. What is going on here? I mean, I can always install whatever, like IC or key or whatever. It's not really an issue, but keeps asking me for a password. This is annoying. The problem is that TCP may not work with the option 12. This is an issue that we may encounter. I don't know yet. I'm not that well versed in DHCP. So if I look on this GNS3 file, yeah, and probably actually, folks, we may need to use this file anyway, because beside the initial config, we have to say that crypto key generator SA on IOL, you can, I mean, on physical devices, on like CSRs, I think they add already key automatically, but on IOL they don't, so you have to do it, and it can be in startup config. So what I may need to do is to go through this file and then find the port number for every device. So for example, if I say router 1, yeah, there is a section for this router 1, and then it has console port. So we may actually need to use that to at least do crypto key generator SA on every device. So we will connect via telnet from like a Python script or something, just to do that one single command. So this is something to keep in mind. So even though our DHCP may work, that crypto thing is still very important because we need SSH access. However, if you will configure IP address, I can connect via telnet first, right? Configure that and then keep using SSH. I think that will also be fine. Yeah, okay, let's keep these. This may be very helpful. Right, so let's try doing GCP server in option 12. So I'm a little bit familiar with ISC DHCP server, and I'm not that familiar with key. And also there is this ISC DHCP. And then there is, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's key, like C, but maybe I'm wrong. How to pronounce key DHCP. Key. Okay. Should be key. All right. So there is this. This one. And there is this one. So this key is supposed to be like a newer one, but they have rewritten it from scratch. That's a lot of docs. That's so many docs. Download Kia source tarball. Honestly, the last thing I want today is to build something. Okay, they need Sage, log for C++, boost system library. It's interesting that they have netconf interface. That's very cool. So I'm curious to check key, but I feel like dealing with it like stuff. You know, I want something easy to use, to be honest. I don't want to spend too much time on this part because we still have so much to do here. There's JSON config file, by the way. Yeah, so if I'm using this, I may need to set up mem file. Can use CSV file here? Okay. Oh, host reservations do not work with the file, so I may need a database. Honestly, folks, it seems like too much. ICP, yeah, if you want more advanced options, ISC. Actually, as far as I know, Key has more features right now than ISC. ISC DHCP, so there's Docker image out there that you can just dump into GNS3. I saw that, but I don't want to do that because those have no relation to the IC itself. So those are created by people, and I have a trusting issue here. Because images are essentially binaries, right? You may put whatever you want there in the image, and then, unless it has direct association with IC, they developed this and they put a Docker image, which they didn't. But if that was the case, I would feel better than using someone else's Docker image, to be honest. And probably it would be fine, though this hasn't been updated in 3 years, for example. But still, you know what I mean? I also could build a Docker container myself, but honestly, in this particular case, I don't want to. I have my machine here. I have my Ubuntu server here, so I can just install it directly. Not everything should be Dockerized. In fact, I think that pieces of critical infrastructure like DHCP, DNS, they do not have to be, and probably it's even better idea not to have them containerized, and then, you know, because when you're containerized, you have to think like how you deploy, where you deploy, right? A lot of people seem to go Kubernetes route, like in production, right? But then if you're going Kubernetes route, you wouldn't want, and again, this is just my opinion, don't quote me on that, well, is if you run your GCP and DNS in Kubernetes, this may bring you issues. Even with spinning up your cluster itself, right? Because you may want to use the host names or something as your like entries to build the cluster itself. So honestly, I feel like something like GCP DNS, a lot of times it makes sense not to containerize that and leave it out of the containers. Yeah, okay, so this seems to be a little bit more complex than I think it is. Maybe I missed something. Main DHCP server is Ubuntu station or station in R110 network. Let me bring out topology again. So right now we don't have any. And I have been testing DHCP on iOS itself on the router here on Core 1. But we found that it's not enough. And actually, let me shut this down. And let me delete these pools. So we tried here on the iOS router. It didn't work with option 12. So first, let me delete this. So the next piece would be to put GCP server here on Ubuntu control station, and then we will just have helper address everywhere. Okay, so I think I made my choice for this string. We will be using ISC. I think it should be in the, yeah, it should be. Yeah, I agree with you, Striker. Right. Okay. So now we have to test it, and let's take this. I'm very curious, is there a plugin for ISC? That would be lit. No, there isn't. Okay. Okay, we have a subnet 10 15.10, yeah, /24. Then there is 10.15.1.254, and then there is a client and we want to have fixed address. So let's say 10, 15, 1, let's do 20, yeah. And now this thing, I need to figure it out in the docs. So ISC DHCP docs. And I don't know about you folks, but I feel like reading these docs that they have, I don't know, like it just, whenever I go here, like I don't feel comfortable at all. Like usually with majority of docs for like programming languages and libraries and that kind of stuff, like I feel like, you know, I Google something, I end up in docs or Stack Overflow, and then I'm golden, right? But here I feel like Figure 1, each host had host-specific parameters. This could implement such things as hostname option, the name of the file to upload, and the address of the server for which to upload the file. Address pools. No, I don't think I need pools from here. I don't need failover. This one. Parameters. File name statement can be used to specify the name of initial boot file. Okay, by the way, folks, once I had a project where we were actually doing ZTP for one of our data centers which hosts some of our internal labs, and we were using the ISC DHCP with MAC address identification, and we were using this file name option to provide the boot up config. I don't see here what I need. Oh, okay, option hostname. Option. Yeah, perfect. So is this described actually somewhere? Option hostname within the host declaration will override the use of the name in the host declaration. It should be noted here that most DHCP clients completely ignore the hostname option sent by DHCP server, so there is no way to configure them not to do this. So you generally have a choice of either not having any hostname to client IP address mapping that the client will recognize, or doing DNS updates. It's beyond this. Okay, so I feel like this is not what we will get, unless I'm mistaken. What this says is that it will send the hostname back. It will send a hostname back. This is what it will do, right? And then the client may like ignore it. But what I need to do is I need to identify the client using the option. Is there so okay, in this discover message, from the client, I made it in such a way that it sends its own host name. What I want is on DHCP server to be able to assign an IP address based on this host name. From this description that I read here, option hostname will override the use of hostname. So it seems like this option will cause the server, when we assign the address, to send it back, but maybe I'm wrong here. You know what? We can actually try and then stop. We can stop speculating and just try, right? It will just not hurt. So I think this looks okay, but what I need fixed address, right? I need fix. Is it fixed address option? Yeah, fixed address. Let's remove this. No, yeah, and semicolon. So this one I want to have 10, 15, 120. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. And where should this go? etc DHCP dhcpd.conf. All right. Ouch. Thing like this, yeah. Well, let's see. How to reapply it? Not configured to listen on any interfaces. Ouch. Default pass to config file, PID, okay, I want to listen on ENC34. Okay, and then excuse me. Oh, I forgot to save it. Did I? Did I forgot to save it? I mean, this is correct. Oh, ouch, ouch. Why my restart is not working? I just don't get it. Not configured to listen on any interfaces. Are you kidding me? Maybe you should check systemd unit file. Okay, I don't remember how to do it on top of my head. Oh, it's over here. Environment file etc default ISC DHCP. So this file need to be root DHCPD. Let's. The page someone mentioned I had this issue, but despite I need to declare a scope for the subnet, my NIC was directly connected to this, allowed the server to start without an error. Thank you. I had this issue as well. This was starting before the network interface was ready. I mean, this is not happening on boot, right? I need to declare a scope for this subnet. First, let's do, the thing that that fixes everything. Or Linux. Thank you so much for following. Yeah, pretty much. This follows with the first line. Subnet is the one that is not directly connected to your to your DHCP server and then add other subnets that do not have any options defined that match your interface addresses. Okay. At least different error now. What is this? Oh, okay. Okay, maybe you will work now, kindly. What's this? No, seriously. Oh, it actually didn't fail. It's active, okay. Like, but this is in red and saying no subnet declaration for this interface. Do I have here ENC33? No, I don't. Then don't put it in red. Right. Let's try to get this working. I mean, I understand that it's warning, but why there should be a warning when I'm explicitly telling this that I am enabling this only on ENC34, right? It's not making any sense to me. All right, let's get this done. So what do we need? So on this router, right, I need to set up the helper address, I think. So yeah, it should be on ETH01 ZTP helper address 192.168.153.1 100, yeah, 100. Okay, Can we clear this? Right. Let's go. This doesn't look good, guys. Nope. That's so sad. Okay, DHCP discover from blah blah blah, network 10.15.1.0/24, no free releases. No free releases. What are you even talking about? No free releases? Excuse me? This is a known feature limitation of ISC. There is a need to mandatorily define net block subnet. The interface has address 10.10.01 netmask. Yeah, I may need to. I mean, I don't think that the ordering issue here, but let's do it anyway. Do I need to do do I even need to do range if I will have host blocks? Ah, okay. Yeah, I see there's an issue. Ah. Okay. Thank you. I mean, we got an address, but it's not the correct one. Okay, this is weird. Oh, I fail. Oh, no. There is no route anymore, right? Yeah, I reloaded the box and there is no more route. But the address that it's sending is not correct. Yeah. We need out static route. I mean, this was always the case. I mean, I always wanted to have it, so it's just I added it, then reloaded the box, and I didn't save it. Okay, at least we can confirm that the server is working, right? We can see this in the logs, but this is not correct IP address though. No one replied to this thread. Oh no. Poor guy. But at least he has a solution for me, so that's some good news. Host definition should be inside the subnet. Are you 100% sure? Actually, you know what? You're 100% correct. Interesting. Okay. Thanks. I didn't know that. Ah. Oh no. Let's try this. Let me see. Hmm. This is because a hostname option cannot be guaranteed to be unique. It's not up to you to decide. Yeah, I think this is what I need to do. This guy also does the same thing, right? He says, no, not this guy. The one with a thread where no one replied to him. So there is a class, right? Match if blah blah blah. Fixed address is not valid in an if statement. Okay, let's do it like this guy. It makes some sense to me. So we are defining a class which matches the hostname. Then we create a pool. Let's do this. I mean, this should be templated anyway, so it's not big of a deal, I guess. But it's just weird syntax. Oh. Okay, we will delete this range. Okay, so we have this class, yeah, and we need pool, which will allow members. So I have a pool. This I can't change it here. Oh, okay. Okay, now I can leave. I can breathe. This is such a hack, but whatever. I mean, my environment here is weird. This looks good to me. What do you think, guys? I think this should work. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, let's shut down the interface. All right. This better work. All right. Yeah. Whoo! Look at this, huh? This is beautiful. Any other ways to solve this problem? What do you think? Like custom Python DHCP server or assigning static max in GNS3? Yeah, so I was exploring that before. I mean, custom Python DHCP server, I will die if I will write this. Honestly, this is like writing a protocol implementation, especially if it's kind of complex. And from my perspective, DHCP is a quite complex protocol. Is like ungrateful work. I will hate myself if I will do that. Even though, like, I mean, it's technically doable, right? Assigning static max in GNS3 possible, but I mean, it will require some kind of wrangling with the files of GNS3 and like project files. So if you go down that path, the solution would be, the way I see it, is you go to the server where the project files are. Like I'm actually here, this is my GNS3 server. So if I go here, I find what are the folders for every single router. For example, this one, yeah. This is one of the IOL devices, and there is startup config. So if that didn't work, this would be the route I would go. I would go directly to the server, find the startup config, and again, from templates you can generate whatever you want and replace the startup configs, right? So like those static files would be already there. This is what I would do. So this would be a valid option. Okay, so I'm happy that this works. So compared to like real world, I mean, our config for ISC is just a little bit complex, but in the real world it will be easier, right? Because where is this? In real world it would be easier because you know the MAC address of your devices. It's already like somewhere on the box itself. So like you can write it down, like during, once you like receive and unpack, you can just write it down in your inventory or whatever you want to use. Alternative option is to use serial number. So let me find this in ISC. ISC DHCP serial number. I'm not sure. Did they add this to docs? I think they did. No. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm just not sure if I will be able to find it. So in some kind of vendor option on one of the latest you can the serial number is sent, so you can do that matching based on serial number and vendor option. Oh, actually, if you use serial number, the config will be almost the same, right? Like you would still use this class stuff. Let me check one thing. There is this guy who is TME for programmability. He had something for DHCP. Let me see. Oh, he's using here a Python script. Okay. Yeah, so for serial number, and I just don't remember the option number, you would do something similar. You would define a class, right? You'd say match if option, and then you would put like option code or something, and then the value of that option. This is how you would do it. And the rest is going to be the same. You'll have pool with one member. Actually, I think I need to put it like this. Let me also see. Double check, you know. Yeah, I think I need to have it like this. Okay, so this works. You know what? Let's do one more test. We'll create another device and we'll do exactly the same thing, right? Right now we will do it manually, and then the next step would be probably I will need to, I mean, I can either use Jinja and like do it locally, or I can actually use Ansible here. Even despite how I don't like Ansible, I think that would be a valid use case here. Okay, let's try doing this. Oh, let me check additional thing. Do I have telnet configured on? Yeah, I actually have telnet configured, so I should be fine. So, yeah, let's do the following. We will add a router. It's router 3, yeah. We will connect here to the port 3. Cool. We start this up. Actually, no, it's incorrect. No, hold on. Yeah, this is not what I want. This is not. Oh, I have it here. So IP address DHCP hostname. Yeah, I need this hostname. I need this hostname there. I need to save this, and then another thing, I need to change it on my GNS3 server. Okay, so I have it here and I have it here. I think I should add it. Okay, so now I deleted the device, yeah, so I added here, yes, and I put it here. I start it and I go here. Now, if we did everything, did we do everything correctly? No, we didn't do everything correctly. I forgot to change this file. let's remove this. Okay, we need to fix this config. Right, and then I restart the server. Logs. Okay, looks good. Now, yeah, so this is the moment. This is the moment we have been waiting for. So 3, I start it and I connect to it, and here I will say after this guy gets IP address. Okay, come on. Nice. And here, two, perfect. And now I should be able to say oh no, yeah, there is no cryptic key generator saved, yeah. But this works. Oops, not like this. Look at this. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I think that's very good. I feel I have a sense of accomplishment right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this would be actually a good point to wrap up. You know what? Let me do, again, just for the test, even though like it seems to be working, let me add like 7 more devices exactly the same way, start them all at the same time, and then like test, see, that feeling of accomplishment. I would like more of it. Okay. So let's do this. So let's add let's go crazy here. Actually no, because no, not that crazy, because I'm not using templates yet, right? I didn't create a config from templates yet, so like that would be just a little bit too much. Probably tomorrow we will be actually doing this templating stuff and all of that stuff. So, but meanwhile, let's just do this manually. So I need hold on. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. All right, and then we copy this as well, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. So 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10. 10. Okay. Let's quickly glance through this. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10. Okay, matching is done, and here let's double check classes. Yeah, this all looks good to me. Let's apply this. So we will alright, so this is done. We will restart our service. Let's double check that it's up, which it is. Right, so now let's just go ahead and add devices, yeah? So, well, we added them already, so we just connect. Yeah, folks, I have a feeling that I will get tired also adding these devices to the topology as well manually. That's so boring. And I'm right now only doing it for 10. I mean, if it was 100, I would be like, fine, I will do it manually. But 1000, I will go insane. Okay, let's also stop capturing this traffic here. Next thing here. Okay, if you did everything correctly, right? And let's go to 4. Where's console? Here we go. Okay. 4, we got IP address 4, 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is absolutely amazing. Look at this. Ouch. One, 2, 3, 4, 10. This router 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's all. Ta-da! Alright. Phew! I am happy this works. I am happy. Now there is another thing I was thinking about, and we are at 2 hours 40 minutes, so yeah, it's kind of late. But I was thinking, no, we still need crypto key. Yeah. I was thinking, why don't we add the public key? So like if I on my control station, yeah, I create key pair, and then I add here the key pair. I don't remember the keychain, yeah. And then here you configure the keychain, but again, I still need the crypto key, which is not done automatically on IL. So I will need to so after all of this is done, I need to connect via telnet on every single device and do crypto key generator SA. But that's fine. We'll deal with it once we get there. All right. So let's do a summary, and we will then end the stream and continue tomorrow. Right. So today we were exploring different approaches how we can do ZTP for our lab, and our lab has a little bit specific requirements, like in some constraints, because unlike real devices, I don't know serial number or MAC address of these boxes. The only identifier that we were able to come up with was the host name, which you can send with the command IP address DHCP host name. Now, and we moved the logic to the DHCP server. We were using ISC DHCP. Majority of this, well, most of the stream we were having issues with that, trying to make it work. It was not as easy as I thought it would be. But at some point we were able to find the correct solution, well, correct workaround, whatever you may call it, how to do this. So the idea is that the device boots up, and based on the setting in the GNS3 startup config, it's not here, but I showed it to you. It's IP address DHCP hostname R, whatever, R2 or R3. Based on that host name, it's sent as option 12 in DHCP Discover, and using this kind of setup with classes where we match on that, we were able to set the static IP for that device, right? So if you are using MAC address, then it's even easier. There is host and then hardware address and fixed address command or statement that you can use. If you're using serial number, then you have to use something like I did here. Instead of option host name, you have to say option whatever the number of that vendor option is to do that. So this config of ISC DHCP, then you start it up. Obviously you will need helper address in your network where it's needed. So in our case, helper address was here on the core 1 on the first hop. And then we were able to confirm that once I have all of that in place and I just add the new router here in GNS3 topology, I connect them to switch, I start them, I am able to see that I get correct IP address on these boxes. So even though it's like, I wouldn't say it's like fully ZTP in your networks, instead what you could do is once you match it on MAC or serial number, you could pull the correct file. You could point to the correct file, and there is like option file name or something. So you would point to that specific config file for your device, and this is how you would do ZTP there. So not that much harder or that much different. So yeah, I'm happy that we got this ZTP portion done, but we still have a lot of stuff to do to make this lab working and fully operational. So for the next time, which I hope is going to be tomorrow, I don't have anything else planned, so we will see each other tomorrow. What we are going to do is a couple of things. First, we have to figure out if I want to do this manual work of adding 990 more devices manually, and the answer is probably not. I'm already, after the 10th one, I'm already tired. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So probably you'll have to find a way to add these devices directly to the GNS3, probably like using their API or something. Yeah, so I mean, unless I will not figure it out, or I will be that open to this boring work, so I will probably build a script. This is very likely that what's going to happen. There are some issues though, like with the placement of these devices, right? Because 1000 devices, if they will be put in the same place, it's going to hurt. But I don't know, we'll see. So next time we'll have to finish building these 1K devices here, because maybe even my computer will not be able to run them. Though I am very optimistic that we'll be fine. So that part, and another part that I want to be done. Oh, we will have to introduce probably Ansible, but not for network automation, specifically for generating DHCP config and putting it where it's supposed to be. So yeah, this is what we can do. Or just use Jinja, it doesn't matter that much. In like Jinja and like Python directly. Because we'll be running the script locally on the DHCP server, so yeah. But though probably like I would use Ansible because it's kind of like server provisioning. So we could use Ansible to generate this big DHCP config, right? Because it's going to be very big. It's 1000 devices. So we will have to do that part. So again, just to summarize, we will have to figure out a way to add 1000 devices, because right now we have only 10. We have to build the DHCP config using templates, and we will have to enable SSH everywhere. So we also will need to run, we'll need to write a simple Python script which goes everywhere and configures SSH. And after that, this is where the point where from my control station, I can reach every other device by SSH, right? So this is a plan for tomorrow. Yeah, and for now, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I hope you had some rest during Christmas, and maybe you still will have some more days of your vacation. Anyway, thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.